So the reason why the name of the project thing is Project Volcano was this idea was always been the thing from the beginning of the semester with like, friends and everyone. But they all like, for some reasons, they didn't stay. And like, I only have one left that knows the actual idea that is still in the school. So that's why I'm pitching this. And I hope it will be a legit game. Thanks. So the context would be the game concept, character concept, environment concept, how each major could benefit, and what challenges will be there, and the team setup. Next. So the game concept is third-person action adventure game, similar to God of War, Devil May Cry, Dark Souls games, and specifically fighting the boss level. I want this one boss level, solid, AAA, very unique, made by Academy of Art students, done by one semester. And then that's, for the extra, it will be tutorials and other levels, more bigger picture. But for this whole pitch night thing, it's one level. And the targeted audience would be, people who likes boss fights. And I hope this would be rated R. I don't want kids playing this game. It's gonna be very violent. And it doesn't have a lot of stories, strategic way to finish the level, epic feeling of defeating a big boss. That's right, epic feeling. And is the goal of the game concept. Next. This is some like pictures of God of War. Next. And gameplay. And this is Devil May Cry. And the next would be Dark Souls. Yeah. So the character concept and the environment concept, it's the goddess of volcano from the myth of Hawaii, and her name is Pele, and she's gonna be one of the enemies that would buff the volcano mole. So you have to think about strategic ways to finish the boss, and it'll be a lot of fun. The boss monster is a volcano mole that is gonna be huge, that is gonna be maybe like 100 times bigger. I don't know. But yes, I need a moment. The environment is going to be the Volcano Dungeon, and the main character, it will be our design teams that will be designing it. But the theme will be steampunk, medieval age warriors. Next. So this is like the concept of how Pele looks. Next. And then this would be how the mole would look. Next. And then this is how like the dungeon setups would be. Next, please. So how each major could benefit. Modeling, for characters modeling, environment modeling, animation. They have to do a lot of animation, rigging. For character rigs, a lot. Concept art. 2 concepts for each character and 3 concepts of environments. So they would need to do a lot too. And sound art. Character sounds are definitely needed. 4 background music, main scene, phase 1, 2, and 3. I wanted the boss to have a phase of changing his, like, kind of a rage when the boss health goes down. So the theme music would change after, certain amount of health is down. And the level design would be set of interesting boss level environment, so it would have numerous traps, and the trap would be also affected to the enemy as well. And I would need a cinematic design. I would love to have a cinematic design because that's what all the God of War really made it so proud to defeat the bosses, the ending cinematics. And the UI UX design, I would need a simple main scene, pause menu, and the RPG style of interface. Coding 3 types of enemy AI, level scripts, 3 skills of movement scripts for the player. And texture art. Yeah, you guys have a lot of things to do. And what challenge will be there? I think it will be hard to finish modeling before levels are set. So we would need to use a placeholder, not enough reference to support the codes we need in the game. Limited level, lack of communication. This is always a problem. And crunch time, if it happens, and not reaching the goal. That's my biggest concern. Next. Team setup would be concept art, 1 or 2, texture artists, 2 or 3, level designer, 1 or 2, music artist, 1 or 2, producer, 1, rig animation, 2 or 3, 3D modeler, 2 or 3, UI UX designer, 1 or 2, scripter coder, 2 or 3, and me. Total of 14 to 22 students made game for 1 level. Next. And thank you. Thank you, everyone. So, questions?
I'm known for asking lots of questions, so.
Okay.
Couple questions.
Yes.
You said you had 3 skills of movement. Can you elaborate on what exactly that means?
It's gonna be like the main character's skill sets that will be like, it needs to have a combination of melee attack and other skills to defeat the boss. It can't be just one skill or one melee attack. So I wanted to have at least 3 movements of different strategies that you could do when you play the game.
Okay, so that equates to like player skills,
Yes.
like features of
Yes,
the player's
yes.
control. Okay,
Yeah.
so like even though it's one level, it's like a late game level where they have like they're kind of powered up already.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really like the idea of the volcano and Pele as the boss fight, and then I kind of got lost when you said steampunk medieval character, and I didn't understand how that fit kind of with the Hawaiian theme, and similarly with the mole boss. Like, yeah, you're underground, but like there's no moles in Hawaii, and no moles live in know. So I just wondered if you could rectify or draw a line how you got to a steampunk medieval warrior versus a Hawaiian themed thing.
It's because I wanted the main character to be like, he's not like a good guy or a bad guy. He just hates the bad guy. That's why he kills the monsters, That kind of type of, Devil May Cry, for a good example. It's like Dante. He just wanted to, have fun in his life, but he does all that kind of thing because he needs to save the world, or else his life will be nothing else, So I wanted that kind of character to be there, and I think steampunk and medieval would definitely fit into what kind of characters we could make, Any other questions?
Does this game only have 1 level?
Yes. And then after, if it's done being the 1 level finished solid AAA, then it's gonna be more levels. I do have more future plans, but I just wanted to scope it down to 1 level solidly finished,
How much gameplay time do you plan to get into this 1 level?
About 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes. So like first-time players would experience at least, the grasp of it, so they would get hooked into it. And then later on, for the late features, I would make it more, harder and harder, Yes. Thank you.
What platforms are you looking at? Just
It's gonna be Unreal.
what platforms actually? Like PC, consoles?
Oh, okay. I would scope it to PC because PC usually works well.
Okay. So do you know? Do you have any idea like what your how high poly your models are going to be, how many animations you're going to do, like texture sizes, things like that. Have you thought about that yet?
I would have to make the detailed GDD, but
Okay.
yeah,
But you, in general, you want pretty high poly.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Any more questions?
All right, 2 questions. Sorry. Is the character an anti-hero?
I wouldn't say anti-hero, but I would say he's like, he doesn't do, like, he's not a good person.
So he's neither good nor bad.
Yeah.
So he's kind of in the middle.
A bit neutral, but more to the bad side.
He's undefined on his morals.
Yeah.
All right. All right. How does the development of skills happen?
Which development? Sorry?
Does the main character just have these skills movements that you mentioned?
Oh, it's gonna be like, well, he's gonna have basically at least a melee attack, and it's gonna have a combination of at least 3, and then that would be one movement of his, and then 2 other movements would be involving other stuff that are like concept artists would make. So I'm very open to what kind of skill that the player would have. It doesn't matter if it's magic, it doesn't matter if it's gun, it's just gonna have those powers and defeat the boss.
All right. Works for me.
Thank you.